Like I've been doing YouTube for a little while, I think probably 10 years now or so, something like that. Probably real serious. I started doing like multiple videos a week, probably back in 2014, I believe. But outside of that, a lot of things that have happened to my channel, like I've never had like a huge channel where I do a video and hundreds of thousands of people watch it. Yes, I have a few videos that managed to hit algorithms or whatever. I'm not sure how it works, and they did pretty well. But for the most part, my videos never were huge getters. They would average, even in my quote-unquote prime, average between 4,000 or 5,000 views per video. Which I know, so like, I look, people look at that as like being a bad thing, but there's somebody out there who's doing content that's getting 50 views that would love to get 5,000 views, right? And conversely, even where I'm at now, I'm sure there's plenty of people that would love to get that. A lot of people realize that my channel is nothing, it's dead, it's whatever. I always look at it as a rebuilding opportunity. I don't look at it as being dead or anything like that. I look at it as a chance to sort of redeem myself, but I always take blame for what happened, right? Like, I'm not stupid. I realized that I built up a fan base of Xbox fans talking positively about Xbox because I genuinely enjoyed Xbox and enjoyed, the gaming and that kind of thing. And then due to numerous reasons, like I'm not trying to make excuses, but my depression, I was in an accident, I was left in a wheelchair, I had to learn how to walk again. There was a lot of things that was going on that was really causing me to lash out over at Xbox, and I wasn't even really that mad at Xbox. I was like taking things personally that I shouldn't have. Like Microsoft was really trying to screw me personally. Like, that's so stupid. That's why I don't understand now that things are better for me, why people getting that kind of mindset, like, oh, well, Microsoft really hates gamers, or they do this or they do. Listen, Microsoft would love to get games out for everybody. The problem is, games are hard to make and they take a long time. So with that being said, everybody realistically needs to kind of take blame for what they do. So anything that's happened to my channel, it not being a great success or anything like that, or people not wanting to watch my videos, that all has to do with me. It's all me. So yeah, I unfortunately I'm the one to blame. So anyway, as you guys know, I always am saying, hey, people gotta like kind of take what they give. But so this is funny to me. So according to this, we're getting a lot of information coming from the Activision stuff now that it's coming out that Microsoft won that and stuff like that. So Microsoft says that Activision's Bobby Kotick offered to extend Sony's Call of Duty co-marketing agreements beyond 2024 to appease Sony's request on Call of Duty, but says Jim Ryan refused the offer and said he'd rather have regulators just block the Microsoft deal instead. So it says, according to these official documents, Sony also refused to extend its Call of Duty co-marketing agreement with Activision, which is set to expire in 2024. Activision CEO Bobby Kotick has attempted to discuss an extension of that agreement with the leadership at Sony. So again, namely Sony CEO Kenshiro Yoshida and PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan. However, Mr. Ryan refused the offer, saying, and I quote, "Hope that the regulators would do their job and block the deal." Tellingly, Mr. Ryan wrote to his original boss at PlayStation Europe, a man he considers a mentor, when the deal was announced. It said the transaction is not an Xbox exclusivity play and that he was pretty sure we will continue to see Call of Duty on PlayStation for many years to come. So again, Jim Ryan, to be quite frank and blunt about it, is a huge reason why the FTC lost, right? People might go, oh, well, why did they, why, Jim Ryan was lying. He was lying to everyone, right? Oh, we'll be dead if we lose Call of Duty. We're, dead men walking. All this kind of nonsense, right? And now we see that wasn't the case. He knew Microsoft wasn't going to take the game off PlayStation because it makes no sense to take the game off PlayStation. And today, I mean, people are gonna we saw the PlayStation fans kind of come out of the woodwork a little bit because the FTC appealed the decision. But Lena Khan, the chairperson of the FTC, has absolutely been destroyed today. In a court setting. So Congressman pointed to Lena Khan to Judge Corley's finding that the Activision deal will result in more access to games, says the appeal that they filed is even less likely to be won by the FTC, and wants to know why they're wasting taxpayer money. People don't realize this. There's legit things to spend taxpayer money on, but we're spending millions and millions of dollars trying to protect a foreign company from having competition from a U.S. company. Think about that for a second. That is absolutely insane to me. So anyway, this is what they're saying right now. A strong FTC that vigorously enforces antitrust laws would be great. But in the Microsoft Activision Blizzard case, many consumers in that case, gamers were shocked that counsel for the FTC sounded much like chief negotiators for a foreign company named Sony. So again, there are things to criticize Lena Khan for, but frankly, her answer that she had no financial interest related to the Meta within merger was a satisfactory one. It's another story that they had a weak case, though gradually less weak than the Activision case, according to Florian Mueller, by the way. She is right that all too often merger remedies have been ineffective. That's true. That should be recognized in the EU. It still doesn't justify acting against a pro-competitive merger, thereby protecting Sony, Google, and Apple. So she is absolutely getting cooked, as she should be. Listen, more games, more gamers will get access to more games. There's no reason why that shouldn't happen, right? Like, we're all kind of looking at this going, this deal should have went through a long time ago. Think about this. If you're a PlayStation fan, right, how can you be okay with what Jim Ryan has done? Right, so theoretically, from what, and this might not be 100% accurate, but in theory, Jim Ryan hasn't done a showcase in a very long time. Waited 2 years to do a showcase. Did one that was lackluster. Apparently, they held off on making announcements because they would look like extreme hypocrites. They could have even held off. There was rumors that they maybe bought Square. You guys remember that was heavily rumored for a long time. Multiple trustworthy sources were saying that they bought Square, but nothing ever came from that. And they could have had everything lined up, all the ducks in a row to buy Square. The problem is, how can you sit there and complain about Microsoft potentially making Activision games exclusive and it's anti-competitive that they're buying a publisher, blah blah blah, when Sony likely wanted to buy Square and make all their games exclusive to PlayStation? Right? It's a big hypocritical mess. So there's no way that they could have gotten away with doing all of that stuff. So, again, Microsoft is looking more and more like they're going to close this deal by the latest early next week. And thank goodness for that. We can move on to other pieces of news. But yeah, this has been an incredible journey. Jim Ryan shot himself in the foot as far as I'm concerned. He could have signed a 10-year deal with Activision for, marketing rights and still got marketing rights. Again, those are all going to end soon, and I think that's better for gamers everywhere. I'll link this. You guys can check it out. Let me know what you think, though. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Crap gamer out.